Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Holy Flick podcast. I am your host again, Cannon King, along with my co-host, Seth Scott.
Hey, everybody.
We were off for a week, not due to laziness, but due to Seth's PC going kaput, and
Yep.
yeah, a lot of issues there.
Shout out Paul Patrick for the fix.
Yeah, Paul Patrick Industrial Services.
Hit him
Yeah,
up.
yeah, definitely hit him up. Please don't sweat him. Yeah, we both had our PCs fixed by Paul at this point. But yeah, so now we're back on another edition after a week off, and going to be catching you guys up on the last 2 weeks of movie news, doing a box office breakdown again. Doing a recently watched, going to review a couple movies that we've watched recently, and do some random recommendations. Excuse me.
There you go.
Blind rankings, recent news roundup, and a couple other things. But yeah, really excited to be back here with you guys. Thank you to everybody who listened to the last episode. It performed really well for my expectations, so I was really happy to see the reception and talk to some people that had listened to it. So really appreciate you guys listening. And yeah, so we'll go ahead and dive into the box office breakdown. Gonna start with the weekend of 13th through the 15th. So this a weekend ago. How to Train Your Dragon had hit number one on its opening weekend, the live action remake, with $83 million. Lilo and Stitch. Yeah, really good opening there.
No kidding.
Yeah, for Universal. And then Lilo and Stitch in number two. I think that was on its, it was on its fourth weekend last weekend. So $15.5 million. Pretty good for a fourth weekend, a month end for Disney. Materialist was on its opening weekend last weekend. Again, 13th through the 15th, with a $12 million opening. Mission Impossible Final Reckoning at $10.3 million last weekend at number 4 spot, and then Ballerina at number 5. So yeah, actually Mission Impossible outperforming Ballerina in its fourth weekend, and on Ballerina's second weekend. That's only by a $900,000 margin, but still that's that's very impressive.
That's impressive. Very impressive. Also to mention, Sinners doing $1.5 million 9 weekends in.
Yeah. Honestly,
very impressive.
I think they turned around this weekend. We'll look at the numbers, but and actually we can go ahead and kind of jump.
And that's after it shows here that Sinners lost almost 600 theaters, dropped their movie after that. Have dropped their movie playing, and to still do $1.5 million is pretty impressive.
That's incredible. Yeah, I had it pulled up right here for this weekend. I think it did 800,000 this weekend for Sinners. I know that was one of the things I wanted to talk about was Sinners actually passed up the movie Gravity for being it's now number 2 for the highest grossing live action original film in the last 15 years.
Okay, that's what I saw. Okay.
Yeah, Sinners is now at 277. Gravity was at 274. So it got to 277 this weekend. And Inception is the highest grossing live action original film, I think, of this century or maybe all time. 292 million.
That is just wild to me. Whole nother story, but.
Yeah, but Sinners now number 2. So it it's been performing really well, even like on its 11th weekend and stuff. It's done well for itself. So I'm really happy to see that. Still my favorite film of the year.
We need originals.
Yeah, Ryan Coogler for me just like cemented himself as an S-tier director. Just one of those directors that you look forward to their next project. Like you keep that on your calendar.
You have to at this point now. Like there's no denying it.
Yeah. I feel like that movie was
performance.
Yeah, that movie definitely did that for him. but yeah, still, I'd say the biggest news thing of last weekend, of course, How to Train Your Dragon performing really well. But really, Mission Impossible for me being a
Still
month
hanging
in,
around.
yeah, hanging around. And even this weekend, it came in at number 5, and it was 2 spots ahead of Ballerina and that little action story. So,
Bigger
um,
margin of dollar wise as well.
yeah, yeah, honestly. So, and that's on its 5th weekend for Mission
My
Impossible. So
goodness.
we'll go through the numbers here for this past weekend, talking about the 20th through the 22nd of June. How to Train Your Dragon again came in first for its second weekend in a row with 37 million, bringing its cumulative to 160 million. And then 28 years later, in its opening weekend, hit $30 million, which is really good. And then
Yeah.
Elio had $21 million coming in to round out the top 3. Um, Lilo and Stitch, 9.7 million in its 5th weekend. Again, really good for a 5th weekend. And
Yep.
Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, 6.5 million on its 5th weekend. So some, a lot of movies that have some staying power this year, I think, is one thing that hasn't been talked about much. But
Some big IPs and um, man, it's summertime too, I guess. But yeah, it's just impressive to see that five weekends in, and they're both 6 million and almost 10 million. That's with multiple the number of theaters that dropped playing it. That just makes it even more impressive to me. Just, people are going to see this movie.
yeah, I mean, you still have movies like, I mean, Karate Kid Legends is at 2.4 million coming in at the number 8 spot. It's in its 4th weekend. Final
Yeah.
Destination Bloodlines, I know 1.8
I
million
was,
isn't a lot at number
but
9, but 6 weekends.
right. I
Say
mean,
that's
that's
a
impressive.
that's
That's a long time for a movie to be in theaters. I don't think people realize
yeah, and
how long that is.
Sinners was the same way. It was in the top 10 9 weeks in. Like, that's insane. That's over 2 months.
Yeah.
And it's going into like the summer season. We had a lot of movies that came out in that amount of time.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
A lot.
just a lot of
Uh, uh,
movies performing really well and reviewing really well, and I think shocking people this year. It's kind of been, for me, even more like a return to form for going to the movies, or the quality of movies this year. It hasn't been, something just knocking out of the park every single week, but it's
sure.
definitely, I think, been more consistent in the COVID era and the post-COVID era of this like decade, I would say. Um,
I was taking a look at last weekend's when you're going through that, and I saw Unholy Trinity did not have a good opening weekend, just over 500,000,
mm,
and they
yeah, I
weren't
don't
even on
think.
the chart for this
Ugh,
past weekend.
that,
So
that's
that's
heartbreaking.
not good.
Yeah, I'm looking at it for. Oh, it didn't even chart last weekend
No,
either.
no.
Um, yeah, I bet it didn't have many theaters. I mean, I don't really. I know I've seen it on IMDb on the coming soon list, but I didn't really see any trailers or much marketing for that.
Uh,
Maybe
I
one or
didn't
two
see.
in
I
the
saw a
theater.
trailer for it in theater, right,
Yeah,
about within a month of when it was releasing, and that was it.
yeah, it wasn't
And
much
it's
talked about with it.
trying to look. So the company was Roadside Attractions is who made that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Smaller
they've been
studio,
behind.
sounds like.
Yeah, they've been behind some movies, but they Manchester by the Sea and Mud.
Oh,
Uh, that's
it's
kind
good
of the ones
quality.
that come to mind. Yeah, yeah, but yeah, not a lot of media for that movie. Anyways,
Yeah, I was gonna say for this weekend, kind of box office news of note is the 28 years later hitting $30 million. It's the best opening for the franchise, third movie in the franchise, spanning over 20 years now, since the start of the first movie, which we'll get into Seth's review of the 28 years later, and maybe a kind of a shared review of 28 days, or just talking about it a little bit.
sure.
Um, but yeah, so did really well for that franchise. The trailers, I think, definitely captivated the audiences and social media as well, with kind of the memes
Hmm.
of the boots, boots, boots. I know my
Yeah,
girlfriend couldn't stop saying that, and her and I have said it as a joke, but
very creepy.
Yeah, very haunting, for sure.
They picked a very good song. Or I'm guessing I don't know what that is.
I don't know if that was
An army
original
something. Yeah,
recorded.
I don't know.
Yeah, but it definitely sticks with you. And from the first
Hmm.
trailer, it did a really good job of marketing the movie. Trailers will look good for this and the cast and everything. And it's kind of like a cult classic sort of franchise, I would say, a little
It
bit.
really is. Yeah,
So Killian
especially
Murphy,
the
one of
first
his
one.
first roles, yeah, in the first movie. But so yeah, really good for that franchise. Happy for it. And then Elio coming in as the worst box office opening for a Pixar movie in history. Hate to hear that, especially
Right.
since it's actually doing well as far as reception goes with audiences and with critics. It's got 84% from the audience score, I believe, and then like a 91 or 92 as a critic score. So it's doing well. It looks good to me. I just haven't seen a whole lot about it or heard a whole lot about it. And I guess that makes sense since
Maybe
it
it
didn't perform well. Came in at third on its opening weekend. That's not great.
maybe it'll bounce back. There was a movie, similar movie a couple years ago, Elemental,
Yes.
that came out and had a really bad weekend, but then actually just kind of took off after its first weekend and ended up doing really well. So maybe that'll happen with Elio.
Yeah.
Maybe the
Have
word of mouth will get out.
well when you think about it too. So on both ends, one it came out pretty soon after How to Train Your Dragon just came out. Like it was in its
And
second weekend.
Stitch in between Stitch and then yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and Lilo and Stitch being its fifth weekend and still, I mean, still coming in fourth. There's a wide margin
right,
there between the two, but third and fourth.
right.
Um, but coming in, I know How to Train Your Dragon is live action, quote unquote, with like the animated dragons, but um, I think that hurts the box office on Elio, and then. But I think what you're talking about with it doing better as time goes on, you have movies
Mhm.
like F1 coming out or Jurassic Park, where adults maybe wanting to go see other movies and the kids going to see others, or doing like a double feature
Correct, right, right.
for the kids, whatever. I think there's stuff that could possibly help it, or maybe even hurt it. Who knows? But more reasons to come to the theaters in the coming weeks, and it'll be the more
Oh yeah.
recent of all the animated movies, so that'll have it going for it. Let's see what else, and then already talked about the Sinners thing, How to Train Your Dragon live action. I said I think before that it's going to be set to be the highest of the How to Train Your Dragon franchise. And you said that you had seen the movie, Seth.
Yes. Whole family went and saw it last weekend, and everybody gave a thumbs up. I really enjoyed it. The score in that movie was phenomenal.
Really?
They really stuck out to me. Kind of the whole movie, I just kept thinking, "Wow, that's really getting me into this movie. It's good in every aspect. The visuals were good. The CGI looked good. Acting was, it is what it is in that kind of movie. I've never seen, full disclosure, I've never seen any of the animated movies. They came out well after I think I was about to graduate high school when they started coming out. So I'd never seen them. So I kind of went in a little bit blind. I knew kind of the premise, but I had really, honestly, I enjoyed that movie more than Lilo and Stitch, to be completely honest. I thought it was a better movie all around.
That's awesome.
So I
So you really
definitely
enjoyed it.
recommend kids and or adults. It's not just a kid. Some of the scenes in that movie are kind of scary with the dragons. I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, it's not just cartoony, funny. Like, there's some scary dragons in that movie, but definitely worth your time and money. Definitely go see it.
Awesome.
I'd probably give it an 79 or an 80,
Oh wow,
somewhere around there.
that's good, especially for
Yeah.
what it is.
And it's not very long, which is another plus. It's about an hour and 45, 48, somewhere around there of actual screen time.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen anything in the franchise either. I know it's always gotten really good reviews. It's been something like I wouldn't be against watching. I've just never really
Mhm.
prioritized it. But I'm glad to hear
Right.
that uh, it struck a chord with you, or you really enjoyed it. So that's awesome. And then
Yeah,
it's performing really well. I mean, back to back
yeah.
number one weekends. So we'll
I
see
guess
how
it's
it.
got a pretty big fan base. I never really knew.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, 160 million, like we said, cumulative is really good. Lilo and
Not a
Stitch
bad
at
weekend.
386 and its fifth weekend. So, but
Yeah, goodness gracious.
looks like How to Train Your Dragon is the only movie for Universal that's currently on the list at all. So it's definitely seems to be
I
a
did not know
big
that.
big movie for them. Yeah, now that I'm looking at all the distributors.
I did not know Life of Chuck was a Neon movie.
Yeah, I didn't really know that either. Or that Materialist A24.
I nope, didn't know that either. They got a couple. Bring Her Back and well, Friendship. That's a couple weeks old.
Yeah,
That's probably not even on the new one.
Key actually saw my girlfriend. She saw a Materialist today, and she said she actually really enjoyed it. So it was really good for what it was, and uh, I had no interest in seeing it. Instead, I played 18 holes of
Yeah,
disc golf. So
that sounds like a better week, a better time for me as well.
yeah,
With that particular movie.
it's very hot. I mean, I nothing
Yeah,
really against it too much. I mean, I watch my little share of romance movies,
sure.
but yeah, when she told me A24, and she said it had a lot of a lot of studios behind it because she said it went on for like almost 2 or 3 minutes on just like studio after
That
studio.
sounds like Unholy Trinity. When I went to see that, I bet you it showed almost 10 different. I'm not even kidding. I was like, is this for real?
Is this movie ever gonna start, or is this
I just did not know.
yeah?
I mean, it got to a point where, like, by like the sixth one, the audience was like audibly groaning, like, "What in the world?"
Uh,
But
that's
yeah,
funny. Well, and one, I guess, box office news thing I wanted to bring up was, and this has been a little over a week ago at this point, I think, but Superman now breaking the Fandango record for the first day pre-sale numbers for 2025. Box office tracking looking like 165 million. You know, we talked about in the last episode about Fantastic Four having that record. Now Superman taking that over to be
hmm
the highest opening weekend domestically, looking like it could be the biggest movie of the year, which is kind of
yeah,
crazy. But
yeah, I agree.
um, but yeah, 165 million domestically is what it's looking for. This would put the film right above Minecraft for the biggest opening of the year. So it'd be number one for the year. And then
Wow.
for DC's kind of recent history or history of films, it would put it right below Batman versus Superman for opening weekend. So it put it right around in that range. Um,
What a thing to be below.
yeah.
Try not to talk about that.
Yeah. I think people are just, I mean, you just say Batman versus Superman if you go back in time. That was such a, I mean, just hearing that concept when that came out at Comic Con, I was my most anticipated movie, one of them of my life, honestly. I mean, I was in high school. I was really looking forward to that, but yeah, it wasn't what I wanted. Anyways, with the Superman thing, that's awesome that it broke that record. And again, looking for a good weekend. I was going to go ahead and throw out numbers since we did it for Fantastic Four. Kind of throw it out for Superman as well on what we thought the opening weekend was going to end up. Again, they're projecting 165. You think it'll be higher or lower, and what exact number you think you're looking at?
I think it's man. I really don't think it's going to be higher. I hope it is. I
Yeah,
hope it
I
just
mean, I
blows
hope
it out of the
it does
water. But
200 million or something. That'd be
yeah,
awesome.
it'd be awesome. I think it'll be like I could see. I'll say 150. I'm gonna go with the higher than I thought a couple weeks ago. I'm just gonna say 150.
Yeah, it's kind of what we talked about in the last episode about it kind of being closer to maybe Fantastic Four than the public thinks. That still think
Yeah.
Superman will probably beat it by a small margin, but it won't be like a blowout like a lot of people are talking
No,
about.
I, I really don't think so either. Yeah, no.
Um,
I hope they both do 200.
yeah, as I say that though, I'm gonna go ahead and turn right around and say I think Superman does 172 is what I'll throw it at.
Oh, I hope you are right.
I think it'll
172,
be.
and I'm gonna say 150.
I think. I mean, I guess I'm like reverse Unoing myself because I'm like, I do see it being closer to Fantastic Four with my realistic expectations. but I do like in the everyday conversation with people or seeing like the reactions online or they're doing at this point they're doing like promos almost every single day, like a new like
It
10.
never. I don't know if when you went to the most recent time you went to the movie, but every employee's wearing a Superman shirt
That's what Key told me today that
at both
at
Bellevue
AMC.
and the two that both AMC's. They are all wearing. I was trying to find out how to get one myself.
They have
Uh,
you wanted a theater shirt
Hey,
yourself.
can I get one of those? I know I don't work here, but I
Can,
wouldn't mind having that shirt.
can I get a job here just so I can quit? I just want the
Uh,
shirt.
yeah, once I get the shirt, I'm out of here. I have to find somebody for my shift.
Yeah,
But yeah, the promotion's unreal.
the shirts, the popcorn buckets, all the stuff online, like 10, 15-second featurettes done
He
every
he's the
day.
main focus in the Fortnite season right now, which
Yeah,
is a big deal. A big deal.
I watched there was something on HBO Max, and it was like a brand new featurette that just appeared like yesterday morning that was already showing on there.
Mhm.
So yeah, they're marketing, they're doing a whole lot for this movie. I still think Superman, as we said before, is like a top three, if not number one name in the superhero genre.
It
Um,
has to be number one, I think.
yeah, I still
It's
question. I mean,
recognizable.
I feel like Batman's had a good run for the last, 20 years, really. And Spider-Man is kind of the same thing. Last 20 years,
Sure.
done really well for itself. I just don't think the Superman IP has jumped up that much. I don't think Superman Returns did that much for it. I think Man of Steel did the most for it.
Yep.
But even then,
Absolutely.
I don't think it compares to, the Batman stuff that's happened the last 20 years of Spider-Man. But anyways, it's still one of the biggest
Yeah, we had
names.
what 20 Spider-Man movies in the last 25 years.
Yeah,
Seems like
and a lot of stuff for
three,
Batman as well.
six,
We've had three iterations
almost
of
nine.
Spider-Man, three iterations of Batman, and technically in the last 20 years, I think only now two iterations of Superman. Because I think
On the big
Superman
screen.
Returns was 2004, if I remember right, or maybe I'm wrong, and it's like 2006.
Sounds. Nah, now you say it might have been 2006.
Something like that. I'll look it up real quick, but yeah. So I'm just feeling like just in recent history, it hasn't been the most, but still, like I said, one of the biggest names and still my favorite superhero personally. So yeah, I just think just for the name and what all it showed us. And I think it's kind of looks, I mean, just like one of those movies kind of for all ages that
I
doesn't come
agree. Yeah,
around very often. That's what makes Star Wars, do so well is
sure.
captivating people of all ages. And I think Superman honestly is going to do that more than people expect. So, and the worldwide numbers is what I'll be excited to see too. Superman Returns was
Yeah.
2006, so this will be the third iteration.
2006.
But yeah, anyways, so we got our numbers out there, so we can come back to them, circle back whenever the movie
Hopefully,
does come out.
hopefully you're right. Actually, or hopefully you're wrong. And it's way more.
Yeah. Like I said, I hope for 200 million or more. That would be awesome, or just for it to make as much money as possible. But I hope that for most movies that come out, pretty much every movie, just to help out the box office.
Yeah, just please, just dominate.
Yeah, whatever it is, I'm excited for it. But yeah, so that's kind of our box office breakdown right there. Moving on to our recently watched films, we can go ahead and start out with the most recent. I know I haven't seen it, but 28 Years Later, coming out
Mhm.
this weekend. What did you think about that movie, Seth? I'm going to check it out tomorrow afternoon. I'm really excited about it.
Spoiler free, of course. I did enjoy it. Wife and I went to see it. She liked it. I will note it is compared to the first two, it is a lot more gore and brutality.
Hmm.
A lot. It was kind of there were some pretty scary parts and short. So there wasn't a lot, but every now and then you'd get some really creepy scenes, brutal, which I didn't hate. It was way better than 28 Weeks Later. I think that movie's really awful, personally. Uh, Probably it wasn't better than 28 Days, but that's just it's hard to top that.
Yeah.
But the acting was on point from top to bottom. Top to bottom acting was insane. Um, I don't think this is a spoiler because obviously out there. There is a second movie coming out next year. They filmed them back to back. So I won't say that this movie ends like, oh man, now I gotta wait to see part two. It had a good ending. It had a weird ending and a shocking one. Something they've never really done before in any zombie movie that I know of, which was really cool. Which obviously I'll let people see that for themselves. Um, there is some controversy with the ending. Not really what happened. I don't want to get into it because it's kind of hard to say anything without spoiling. I didn't really understand the controversy until I did some research, but now I understand why. But once you see it, and if you need to do research to understand why there is some controversy, on a scale of 100, I'd probably give it probably give it a 75. I just wasn't head over heels for it, but it was nice. It wasn't very long. Again, you're not checking your clock to see, oh man, is this over yet? There is a scene kind of close to the beginning, very intense. Like you're like, it's a very intense scene, and you're thinking, is this going to work out? Is this not going to work out? Which it was really cool how they shot it too. So I definitely go see it. If even if you haven't seen the first two, I really don't even think you have to see the first two to see this one.
I'm assuming since it performed so well, I mean, there's probably a lot of people that haven't seen the other movies.
I agree. I'm sure, and you really don't have. I mean, there is. This isn't a spoiler because it's in the trailer, but there is a callback to the first movie in this movie. It's very short, but it is cool, I guess. If you watched all the movies and you're really into it, it's a cool little callback. There is something. There is something in this movie that, besides the ending, there's one other thing I thought people have been talking about online, like chronically, and I don't really know how to say it without
spoiling.
I just won't say it, but it's not really a spoiler. It's something else. You guys will notice it when you watch the movie pretty almost instantly. So we'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
It's kind of funny, honestly.
But still recommend good theater experience, good performance.
Yes,
like
absolutely recommend. It's pretty scary in spots. The acting's good. Great, actually. It's not good. It's great.
Some good scary movies this year.
And there is one scene that is very comedic, and it's honestly one of the funniest zombie comedy scenes. It's really nothing to do with zombies, I guess, but just it's hilarious. It has to do with the phone, and just everybody in the theater laughed out loud when it happened. Pretty much everybody, including myself. It was very well written and very funny. So definitely go see it. Go ahead.
I was gonna say directed by Alex Garland, right? Who wrote the first movie, and I'm not sure he might have wrote the second one as
I think Dan Boyle maybe wrote this one.
Okay.
Or maybe he did the screenplay.
Flip flop on roles, because in the first movie, Danny Boyle directs, but Alex Garland writes.
Okay, Danny directed this one, and Alex wrote this one.
Oh, and this one as well.
Yes.
Same thing. Okay, gotcha. I thought it was Alex Garland directing this one for some reason. Who's also done Warfare recently. Also, just a criminally underrated movie.
Warfare. Oh my goodness!
I think we mentioned that on the last podcast.
Insanely good.
Probably the most realistic war film.
Yeah,
I think I've ever seen.
Definitely the most realistic I've ever seen. Very heavy.
For the modern era, especially of war. Or in the Middle East as well, which is kind of scarily relevant at the moment.
Yeah, correct.
But that's awesome that you enjoyed that. What are you gonna say?
Yeah, wrapping it up. That just 75 out of 100, definitely worth watching. Another one of those movies that we've talked about on the last pod. It's just fun to go to the movies, get your popcorn, Coke, candy, and just sit down and enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm excited about going to see it tomorrow. I'm not the biggest into like the post-apocalyptic, or I guess that's kind of what zombies usually leads to, is post-apocalyptic when it comes to the horror genre. But some things I like, some things I don't. But I just watched 28 Days Later last night with
very good movie
with Key, or yesterday, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. The style of that movie is definitely reflective of the times then. It
Hmm.
felt like a late '90s, early 2000s like music video shot at a mall,
It
like a
really, yeah, you're right. That's a good
Darude
way to
Sandstorm
describe it.
vibes. Um, yeah, just the way it was filmed, a lot of the angles or choices. There was a couple shots in the movie just because it's fresh on my mind, and in case anybody's watched it recently or plans to watch it soon. There's two shots that like made my jaw drop. Was it was kind of crazy how they did it. One was like a sunset shot of the city, and
Hmm.
in the top left of it, it looked almost like a photograph had been like cut out, and that was the city. In the top left, it was like a sliver of a close up of a person's eyes as they were sleeping. And they did the same thing for like a painting of a field of flowers. And then in the
Hmm.
top of there was a road in the painting, but they were actually driving down the road, but it made it look like
Right.
they were like driving inside this painting. There was some crazy, just very experimental, felt like film school type shots, and somebody who's being very ambitious as a filmmaker early in their career. Um, so a lot of stuff that I just really appreciated that were very subtle and like deeper than just like a normal stuff that I'm used to, I guess, seeing in that
Right.
genre. And the writing and dialogue and characters, like it really felt fresh, even though it's over 20 years old. I think it's 2002. Um, so yeah, Cillian Murphy did a great job. Of course, as always, early on in his career as well. And I think it was Naomi Harris
Was the
playing opposite.
co-star? Yeah.
Yeah, playing
Don't
opposite,
forget
and
Brendan Gleeson.
Brendan Gleeson in the
God,
movie.
he's always so good.
Dude, yeah, everything he's in.
He's got
Uh,
a TV show, and it came out, not to get off track here, but I think it was on exclusively on Peacock, and it was really good. I'm trying to think of the name.
I don't think I've checked
Oh
it out.
man,
So
let
good
me.
in Banshees.
Oh, yep,
I mean,
absolutely.
just everything he does. He's always a presence or a force in his movies, or in his
Mr.
performances.
Mercedes was the name of that show.
Mr. Mercedes
Just
on
wanted to put that.
Peacock.
It was on Peacock. I guess it probably still is. I think it was an original. So
Gotcha.
obviously would be. I think it was a book adaptation. But anyways, back to
Yeah,
not
but
to get off track.
I really enjoyed it, the way the action was filmed, the way that the zombies or infected moved within the movie, like how quickly they moved and like the frames at which it
I
seemed they
think
moved at.
that's the best part of this series is the way this virus affects people.
Yeah, I like how it's kind of funny to me, like the one cliche scene that I feel like they just wanted to hurry up and get it over with to give an explanation was the opening scene with the monkeys. Um,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
that was just kind of like, let's go ahead and say this is how the virus happened. I feel like that it was almost like needless. I guess just to give you background is really the only thing. I mean, it was a cool scene. I just mean like the rest of the movie's
sure.
kind of different, or it's not as
Yeah, it's not
like,
the same vibe
yeah, not the
at
same
all.
vibe at all for me. There's also, I mean, there are some moments of humor. Yeah, I don't know. It had a little bit of everything. I think some stuff that came after it, such as like a Walking Dead, felt like it
Yeah,
took a lot of inspiration from it. There were some shots within the movie I felt like were callbacks to other things. There was a shot that looked like a Sam Raimi, the Force shot they call it, I think, in the old Evil Dead movies, where it looks like this like you're just basically the wind flying through the woods, and it has all these sound effects, and it's supposed to be
right.
like a entity within the Evil Dead stuff. Shout out to Mission Impossible with entities. But
Oh,
no,
God.
they do a shot like that in this movie too. That's really good. Like I said, it's kind of avant garde a little bit with the stuff it does, but it's also, I mean, you don't have to be into that stuff to really enjoy it. It's just kind of a cool. I was gonna say one thing about it real quick that I made note of last night when I was writing notes about it was when you just give me like an empty, like major city like Metropolis, or famous sites in the world, and you just show them as they're like dystopian, nobody's there. It's just, it
Hmm.
always like evokes something, I feel like.
Yeah,
uh and they do a
like
really
yeah.
great job of that in this movie. There's even stuff in like the beginning when Killian's walking around the city and there's like soda cans everywhere, products all over the place.
Yeah, and
Um,
he's kind of picking him up, drinking like a hot Pepsi.
yeah, hot
I think
Dr.
that's what
Pepper,
he. I
hot
think that's.
Pepsi, and to
Yeah.
me, like I don't know if I was just overthinking it, but I was like, could this be saying like post consumerism as well? With like, could it be
Right.
more of like a metaphorically about a world instead of like just zombies, but a world moved on from a lot of stuff like that. But last thing I wanted to say about it was, I don't know if this was a cliche before this movie or if this kind of started it. I'd love to know
Mhm.
when it happened, but has it always been a thing in like the post-apocalyptic movies on like raiding a grocery store or a gas station? Because they did that
Yeah.
like multiple times in that movie, and I feel like I see it in all of like that's like one cliche, like a Zombie Land or
Yeah.
anything is like
Zombieland comes to mind instantly, right?
A quiet place opening
Yeah.
scene in the first movie. There's so many movies that do that I just wonder like which one was the first, and it kind of felt like this one could have been for all I know.
Yeah. I mean,
uh
you're probably right. I would say.
it's an odd trope to point out, but yeah, and also the taxi scene when they first leave from Brendan Gleeson and his daughter Hannah in the movie. um when they
Mhm.
first leave from their like flats and do the taxi underground, which is crazy.
Right. Yeah,
That
that
was an
was
awesome scene. The way they just film
something
like
else.
the canted angles, like through they'll film Naomi Harris and Hannah in the back seat through like the rear view mirror with like this canted angle, and they film like Killian with like a side view of him like staring out at the city. Like there were
Mhm.
so many serene shots and like moments of like such beauty in the movie that I think were like kind of juxtaposed versus like what the movie really was. It was just so much there for me that I like got out of it that I didn't expect from the movie at all. So
Right.
I just thought it was really, really well done. I'd give it probably about a 87, 88 for me. In that
Yeah,
ballpark, maybe
that's.
a 88.
I think that's deserving.
I just really enjoyed the whole style and performances and like I said, all the little things of the movie. So I'd highly recommend checking it out. I was on some smaller streaming services, I believe. We ended up just renting the movie on Amazon Prime for like $4.
I think
I
I
kind of wish I would
watched
have
it.
bought it.
I think I watched it a month ago, maybe 2 months ago on Pluto TV, which
Yeah.
is a free app.
Oh, it's free?
Uh,
I didn't realize that.
mm-hmm.
I think.
It's a free app. You have to watch ads, but I mean,
I mean, if
it's
it's
not that.
free, I mean,
The ads are very short. I mean, we're talking. I think it was like maybe 5 ads through the whole movie, and they were like all like 40 seconds long, maybe. So
when it's got to be
I can
free
live with that.
somehow. I mean, you got to expect ads
Sure,
at that point.
absolutely.
I think I do remember, yeah, it being free, and she even said that, and I guess it didn't register till now, but yeah, highly recommend 28 Days Later, and very excited to see 28 Years Later tomorrow. And I guess I may check out 28 Weeks Later just to say I have seen it,
Yeah,
even if it's not good.
I
But
didn't really like it, but that's just my opinion.
yeah,
Definitely should watch it anyways.
um, I'll just run through just a couple other things. I don't want to go into them too deep. I'm planning on doing some 30-second reviews, which I know a lot of people have asked for. But um, watch Mountainhead in the last couple weeks, which
Okay.
is that Steve Carell.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, I'm trying to remember the other actors that are in it. It's like Jason Schwartzman and uh, God, I forget that. Rami Youssef, I believe, is the third guy's name, and then
Yeah, and there
it's
Corey
the
Michael
dude,
Smith.
yeah, who's just got
He was in
cast in a new
Gotham.
movie. Yeah, he's in Gotham, and he was also in a Saturday Night Live
Great
movie
show, by the way.
playing Chevy Chase. Is who he
That's
played.
right.
But yeah, it was actually a pretty good movie. Kind of goes off the rails at the end. I wrote up a little review for it and I recorded one, but just wanted to say I was on HBO Max. And if you're into the whole kind of, it's like a Succession vibe, of course, because it has the same writer, Aaron Sorkin, I believe. Am I right on that? Or am I mixing up my writers? I gotta look that up now.
Jesse Armstrong,
Or Jesse Armstrong. I said Aaron Sorkin.
but he did write on Succession.
Okay.
So
Yeah, on Succession. And just kind of like the, I guess, classism goes into like the ultra rich and
sure.
kind of a dark comedy within the movie, to be honest. Especially, about halfway through the movie, it takes a sharp turn from what the
Uh,
movie is about, and the direction that it's heading. It's kind of uh, I don't know. Steve Carell's character conjures up this crazy idea that just changes
um,
up like the
okay.
genre of the movie, and again, like the substance or what's happening and how the movie ends up, all that. So that's all. I mean, I don't want to spoil it too much, but it definitely has a plot twist that you may
I do
like or
like
may not
those.
like. Yeah, it's one of those that you can take it or leave it, I guess. And you're kind of, I guess, looking for some meaning for the movie to say some things, and I don't think it really has too much to say. It's not as intelligent of writing as like something like Succession, but still
Sure.
some really good acting and performances. The location was insane. It's like pretty much all at one location. There's very few actors in this movie, so it's one of those movies like a all at a single location with a set amount of characters. But yeah, it was pretty good. I'll probably, like I said, do a review on that. I'd rate it probably about a 67, 68, something like that.
Okay.
Um,
Not bad.
yeah, I enjoyed it though. For the watch for sure. Just watched it on my couch like a lazy Saturday morning, and it was good.
Sure.
Um, movie I caught up on, wanted to watch for forever is Do the Right Thing, Spike Lee movie. One of his first, it's like a late 80s movie. Was really blown away with the movie. I could definitely see a lot of cultural, I guess, like how influential it was at the time, and
Hmm.
why it's still so important. I think it's still a really good movie and has a lot to say. Almost 40 years later, but more like 35 to 40. Um, but yeah, and I saw a lot of influences like for movies that came after it, even in some Tarantino writing or dialogue, using some lines from this movie. Samuel Jackson being so iconic in this movie, very, very
Hmm.
early in his career. Um, very slick with like a lot of the writing, but felt almost like a Broadway play in a way as well, which I'm not used to seeing in a lot of movies. But I felt like I was,
Yeah.
watching a play almost unfold on screen. And but yeah, I really, really enjoyed it a lot. Also, probably would do a review on it, but had a whole lot of substance or things to say. Great acting and a lot of actors that go on to have huge careers, like Juan Carlo Esposito. Um, in the film. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. The soundtrack was incredible. Made me laugh, made me almost tear up or choke up. So it was a really good movie. I would probably rate it at, oh, that's tough. I'm gonna give it a flat 90. I think I'll do the right thing. Um,
Hey,
yeah, I like how I'm
that's
giving
good.
giving scores. As I say, I'm also going to do the 30-second reviews, but I'll be a little more polished, I guess, in my 30-second reviews. And if you listen to both, then it just makes you a bigger fan. And so
Sure. Absolutely.
may not be some crossover there. But anyways, and very last thing I watched, I don't know, it'd be hard to give a score on this because of what it really is, but I watched Trainwreck, the Astro World tragedy documentary.
All
Um,
that on. I didn't watch it, but I did see that.
Yeah, it dude, it was way better made, I'll say, than I expected.
Okay.
Um like the production quality of it, and I guess the amount of time they spend like on the footage versus like the interviews with people and unfolding knowledge and like tackling at it from different perspectives. One of the biggest things in the movies that I walked away from being a lot more, I guess, thoughtful about, never once thought about this before, was, there's like specific people, like their careers are safety coordinators for concerts, that like the
Mm,
whole layout of a concert on like where danger zones can appear depending on the layout
mm,
of a concert venue. And they helped also engineer new event venues. So that whole aspect of it that they tackled for the festival and how it all played out, like from just the safety standpoint, was very educational. Definitely will make you think about stuff like that at festivals and being careful about when
I'd be more aware.
Yeah, stuff's getting too
Yeah.
like crowded in certain areas or populated because you watch this concert or this documentary of the concert, dude. Almost never felt more claustrophobic like in a movie or in my life than like watching this documentary. Like that's the number one thing
Oh wow. Yeah.
or feeling I had was like I almost just my nerves like sweating.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, it'll make you feel that in the movie. So if you deal with those type of feelings, you'll definitely
Mhm.
be exposed to that.
Right. Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it was kind of horrifying. Even like the music or the concert just continuing going on because it's a situation I didn't remember a whole lot about. I remembered some people died. It turned out to be 20 something people, I believe, or maybe even
Wow. I did not
higher.
know it was that. Yeah, I thought it was way lower than that.
Yeah, but I didn't remember how many people that had died and just the way it all went down. Or I don't think I ever knew the way it really all went down. So it breaks it down bit by bit, and scene by scene in a really good way. Like lays it all out where it's clear and concise, and just a kind of a good angle where it's not like trying to throw, I guess, too much shade at Travis Scott to the point where it's just like I don't know, it feels like a hit piece, but it definitely adds some responsibility on like his side of the court. But apparently, there was only two people from Live Nation that had the ability to shut down the concert. But I would also say if Travis Scott, had an idea of what was going on, he could have shut down the concert if he wanted to. I mean, he was the one performing. I'm sure he could have been fined or
Right.
something, but
Yeah.
I don't know
Right.
to what extent he knew or from his perspective what was going on. I do know that after he went through all those lawsuits, they both did for what happened at the Astroworld concert that for his following tour for Utopia album, he also got Live Nation back again for that one, is something they revealed at the end, which doesn't look great after something like that happened. So
Right.
I don't know, but
Yeah. Yeah.
but it was a very good documentary, I have to say. One of the first documentaries I've watched in a little while, and I didn't really plan to watch it or wasn't looking forward to it or anything. But it's really hard to rate, but I'd say like a 73, 72 for that movie or for that documentary. I mean, for watching it
Okay.
home as well. I mean, if it came out in the theaters, I
Sure.
may feel a little differently about it if I paid money for it, but seeing it streaming at home, it was a good little documentary, and like I said, just informative in ways that I didn't expect it to be. So it was good.
Nice. I'll probably will be checking that out. I saw it on there this morning or earlier today. Actually, I was like, "What is this?" And I read it and I was like, oh, "Okay."
Yeah, it was.
It's very confused.
It got kind of dark at times,
I imagine so. Yeah.
for sure. But but yeah, it was well made. And I like Travis Scott. I'm a fan of his music. I like the actual Astro World documentary that came out years ago. The Look Mom I Can Fly on Netflix. I actually remember
Hmm.
reviewing that for Holy Flick forever ago. So yeah, it's just interesting to see this side of things and bringing this back and kind of like I said, putting this in people's minds. I think it can be like a good almost like a heads up safety thing. I mentioned that before for at the beginning of the review for it, but especially for younger people. Like one of the people that died, I think he was like 17 or 18, like just graduated high school. And I just think about, if this was like your first festival to go to or something, or you're going to a
Right.
local festival like outdoors, because indoor venues I think are set up a little differently than how this would have been set up, just kind of stitched together. But
Hmm.
anyways, just for people to keep in mind, or if people have kids, to let them keep that in mind, just on really paying attention to just the
Just
way
be
that
aware.
things can go down. Yeah, and getting out if you have to. Like no concerts worth losing your life over, or
Right.
things happening. So like I said, it was better than I did. Like it was just really my girlfriend wanted to watch it, and I ended up watching it with her, and it took a
Right.
second for it to grab my interest, and I was like, wow, this is really good. And I had to deal with a little claustrophobia. Some, like I said, it may
Sure.
just be
Yeah.
me, but I really got bad during that movie at certain points. So I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, it was good. Is there anything else you watched recently you want to talk about? I know we already mentioned about How to Train Your Dragon and maybe some other things.
I did go see um, Unholy Trinity
Oh yeah.
um, that same day as How to Train Your Dragon. It was on my top five anticipated of the summer. It was number five, I think, maybe four. I liked it. It was short, and as westerns go, it was a solid western. Pretty straightforward plot. The acting was pretty solid. I didn't like the guy, not Pierce Brosnan, but there was another guy. I don't know. He just didn't really do it for me as a lead guy. Samuel Jackson was solid in what his role was.
There
I'd
was
probably give it a 63 maybe.
that's funny. You have it about what the people scores currently at on IMDb. It's a
Yeah,
6.1.
I think that's pretty fair. Brandon Lessard was the guy I was
Okay.
thinking of.
I was gonna say that was
I guess you could call him and Pierce probably co-leads in a way. The visuals were amazing. All the visuals look great, and like I said, it wasn't a long movie, so it wasn't really dragging out too much. I didn't really understand in parts. So, there is. I will say this. I don't think this will ruin it. I think I won't say anything. But there's somebody in the movie that's not. I don't think he's even in the credits. I'm gonna check real quick. Okay, he's not, and it's awesome. It's an awesome short cameo.
That's awesome.
Okay, no, he is in the credits, so I'll say it. David Arquette is is in the movie. I didn't see him before. I went to see this in the credits, but he's in it for a short period of time, and it's a very good little surprise. Jacob? Yes, he is a preacher, a man of the cloth. Yeah. Overall, yeah, 61, 63, 62, somewhere around there. I think it's already out of theaters. I don't believe it's showing anymore.
Yeah. It just came and went. That's why you said you wanted to go see it last weekend when we talked about the podcast.
I didn't think, and wouldn't have had a chance. I didn't.
Yeah, so good thing you did get
if you can catch it at home on a streaming platform, definitely. It's an hour and a half of your time. It's worth that.
I could see that being one of those movies that, as we've already said, it performed very poorly at the box office. But I could see, maybe it turns around and has an okay at least showing it on streaming. For
sure. I think you can, because Pierce Brosnan's he's good.
Yeah, Pierce Brosnan and Samuel Jackson in a western. That's all you really need to say.
That's going to draw enough people in as it is. There wasn't a lot of media for this, so I feel like that hurt it too. So.
Yeah, maybe if it's advertised a little bit on a streaming platform, thrown on that top 10 list for a week or so, maybe it could attract some people and get some word of mouth.
Top 10 in the U.S. type thing. So I saw that. Saw those two. I haven't seen anything else in theaters. I will be going to see F1 this week at some point.
I'm going to see that. That 4DX. I talked about that on the last podcast, but I actually got my tickets for it for not tomorrow, but the following Monday. I'm going to see it in 4DX. So
nice.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I watched anything on Netflix. The wife and I did watch a movie today. It's nothing new. It's an old movie called Copycat with Sigourney Weaver and pretty much just her. I think the other girl's name is Holly Hunter. I don't know her. It's an old movie. I think it came out in 95. Sorry.
Yeah, Holly Hunter, 95.
It was a fun. Harry Connick Jr. is in it. Yes, that's kind of a big name.
Criminal psychologist turned agoraphobic after a murder attempt.
Agoraphobia. Can't leave her house.
Oh, can't leave her house. Okay, I don't know what that means. Yeah. Murder attempt agrees to help two San Francisco detectives hunt for a copycat serial killer who intends on making her his next victim. Interesting.
Yeah, it was a pretty, straightforward, but it was a fun little 90s movie. It's on Netflix, Prime, and Hulu. It's on everything.
Yeah, I see it's on every platform.
Which is very weird. I don't know what Plex is, but
I don't know what Plex is either. Yeah, Hulu.
It's kind of wild to think it's on those three services having the same movie is very rare.
Yeah, I guess Sigourney Weaver is beloved by all streaming services.
I do like her. Yeah. That's pretty much all I've been watching lately, besides some anime here and there.
Yeah, I've watched. Watched some Justified. Still
Ooh,
catching up on that's this is my second time watching it. First
can't go
time with
wrong
my
with that.
girlfriend. Yeah, it's been a very enjoyable rewatch. I haven't watched it in about 10 years, and yeah, man, it's just as good as I remember. And some things I think that stand out to me more that I just really don't recollect. But
Hmm.
um, yeah, such good writing and characters. And honestly, one thing I feel like that changed the first time I watched Justified was Raylan's still awesome, but I
Hmm.
just love Walton Goggins Boyd. I don't know
Yeah,
if I
boy.
mentioned this last time on the
Uh,
podcast, but he's just such a fun character, well written. Walton Goggins himself is one of the best actors I think of the last decade or more.
oh,
Um,
without a doubt.
Very versatile
Um,
as well, and everything that he
we
does.
Paul Patrick, another shout out for him. He and I spoke about Justified again today and how crazy it was that originally Boyd, the character Boyd, was only a one shot, like in that episode,
Yeah, for the
pilot episode,
pilot. Yeah,
and that they changed that, and he ended up being 1A and 1B with Timothy Oliphant's character for their whole reigning of the series. And how
yeah,
much different would that series have been if they wouldn't have done that? I don't know if it would have got 7 seasons. I really don't, or six, or
yeah. I think it was
however many it
6.
got.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think it would have either. The whole dynamic between them two is incredible. Timothy
Yep.
Oliphant and Walton Goggins, and um, I really like throughout the first season. Walton Goggins is really good, but I feel like he really finds his footing in the second and third seasons.
Yeah.
The
When he gets away from like the little small town bank robber,
Yeah, small town bank
blah blah.
robber and the religious storyline and his father, and there's a lot of stuff that that happens to him just in that first season that
Yeah,
that turns him into, like, I feel like kind of breaks him down to nothing, but also like he finds himself in that, I guess to say, in that
sure. Yeah,
chaos. He's kind of like a backwoods Joker is how I feel about him.
yeah,
Um, Maybe more charismatic or more ethical, but
yeah. Not quite
still
that dark, but yeah,
chaotic,
what you're saying. Yeah,
still like chaotic, and just he's a brain and he can outthink just about everybody in the room and sets up so many different things to happen. So yeah, I love that character so much in that show. So it's been great to rewatch that, but not a whole lot else on television. Um, Kind of a little more, but we've just given a lot of recommendations for people. But I wanted to have a little segment, at least for this week, on random recommendations for our audience. Do you have any,
yeah.
movies that you
I
just
got
want to throw out there?
I got three, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't have any movies. I did TV shows.
Oh, TV shows. Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't really. I was racking my brain. I was like, I hadn't really watched anything lately, and I couldn't really come up with anything. But I had watched a couple of TV shows, and the first one was It's on Netflix. Department Q, or it's abbreviated DEPT Q. It's on Netflix. One season just came out with Matthew Good and don't know anyone else really in the show, but it is a pretty cool little crime thriller. I think it's 8 or 9 episodes. Some good twists and turns, some really good acting, and I went through that in about 4 days.
Oh
I
wow.
was really into it. Yeah, I was really enjoying it. It's on Netflix. Go check it out. I don't think you'll regret it. I'll read the little,
Synopsis.
just, yeah, just so everybody can know.
So Matthew Good's
Carl, a
in it. Okay.
former top-rated detective, is racked with guilt following an attack that left his partner paralyzed and another policeman dead. On his return to work, Carl is assigned to a cold case that will consume his life. So basically, yes, Carl has a trauma happen that he paralyzes his friend and then gets another police officer killed. And then you fast forward about 4 or 5 months, and he's just not handling the trauma well. He doesn't really want to talk about it. He comes back to work, and he was already a bitter guy, bitter cop. And they move him to this new cold case division that they just put him on because they don't really have anything else to do with him. They don't want to do anything else with him, and he gets really into this cold case of a lady who went missing 4 years prior. And he just starts working that case, and that's what I'll leave it at that. Really worth it, worth your time. Very one of the best shows I've watched in a while.
It's got an
Because
8.3
it really,
on IMDb.
yeah, that's very deserving. That's probably what I'd rate it, honestly. Maybe 85 actually.
Well, Matthew Good is for me one of the standout actors. As I talk about Walton Goggins, he may not be in as much stuff or as known, but he's definitely one of those actors in the last decade that has cemented himself as somebody that I love to see in every role that he's in. One recent one in the last few years is The Offer with Miles Teller. When we talk about series recommendations,
Mm-hmm.
that's definitely would be one of mine, and I'll use that another week, but I'm not going to use that for this week. But anyways, he plays a studio head in that series, a mini series, and yeah, and he's in Watchmen and Imitation Game, like that guy.
God, he was in Watchmen. Yeah.
Yeah, he plays a character you just hate so badly in Watchmen, but
Yeah, no kidding.
But you just want to punch him in the face. But
Mm-hmm.
he and he's kind of terrifying too. But man, he's such a good actor, like classically trained type of actor. So
Sure.
I would definitely check that out for sure. That sounds really good to me.
Yeah, streaming on Netflix. I got two more. I'm gonna run through. Well, the first one's an anime, but I think it's something that's not like a. I know if people aren't into anime, it's not their thing, but this is not your typical anime. This is, it's called Mob Psycho. It's about a young kid who can see ghosts, poltergeists, whatever you want to call them. I'll read the synopsis too, but it was streaming on, or Mob Psycho 100, I guess, but I always shorten it. Yeah, it's still on Hulu, maybe on Netflix too, honestly. But it's just a psychic middle school boy tries to live a normal life and keep his powers under control, even though he's constantly gets into trouble. He's very innocent, and he's just trying to live his life, and he gets into some hijinks. And it's not a really serious anime. It's kind of funny. I think it's just a fun. Kids can watch it. It's not inappropriate in any way. It's not very scary. No, not like a lot of anime these days. All family, all ages could watch it. It's one of my favorites. I love it. So I'm just gonna get through that one pretty quick.
What was the name of that again? Sorry.
Mob Psycho 100.
Mob Psycho 100. Okay.
Yep. And then the third one I got is a TV show called. I think maybe I talked to you about this. It's called Non-Perfect Strangers.
Oh yes.
It is also on Hulu. Starring lead of, it's kind of got Nicole Kidman's the lead, but it's kind of got White Lotus vibes in the sense of I think season 2 is currently ongoing. They might be halfway through it, but she runs a wellness resort, and the second season's in a different location, so that's why I say it gives White Lotus vibes. But season 1 is what I've watched, and it is. I'll just run through the cast of season 1 real quick. Nicole Kidman, Michael Shannon, Luke Evans, Melissa McCarthy, who I don't usually like, but she did very well. Samara Weaving, and Regina Hall, and Bobby Cannavale. I can't ever say his name. But you know who he is if you saw him.
See, at least season 2 also has Mark Strong and Henry Golding and Bobby Cannavale. I don't even know how you say it.
Cannavale,
he's in a ton of stuff. Yeah, he's really good.
And that was just season 1. Yeah, and then you got Henry Golding, Mark Strong, and then Murray Bartlett from
who was also
White
in White Lotus. Yeah, That's what I wanted to point out. That
a fan favorite character in
season 1. Yeah.
The first season is. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I've only watched 2 seasons of White Lotus, but he's definitely been one of my favorites. And he in Last of Us, in the season 1, him and Nick Offerman. That was such a good performance in that episode. Both
very
of them.
Big episode. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways.
I really first season. I think it was 8 or 9 episodes, and that was another one that I about a week. They're about 40 to 50 minutes long, I think. Some are shorter, some are maybe a little longer, maybe the finale. Great. The cast is unreal. Michael Shannon is one of my all-time favorites. And Luke Evans also very underrated.
Yeah.
like I said, Melissa McCarthy, probably her best performance ever, in my opinion. She did a really good job.
You had
Just
to be a
another one of
Michael
those
Shannon
shows.
for me.
Right. That's all. When I was going through and I saw it, that's what I was like. Okay, I'll watch it.
Again, one of those actors that's just I'll watch whatever they're in. Like it could have
So I
a okay score.
recommend that. Watch the binge season 1, and then season 2 is ongoing. By the time you're finished binging, you might be able to binge season 2. I don't know if you have Hulu. Those are my recommendations on streaming platforms. I will I will just put this out here. I have unfortunately been watching Love Island.
So my girlfriend's watching that as we speak. She's been watching almost every night, and she's super into that.
Uh,
I actually thought about
um,
having like a review
I'm
for
not,
that for
I'm
her.
not gonna lie. I've kind of gotten into it, so I hate to admit that, but
Yeah, it
it
seems
is
like it's big.
addicting, unfortunately,
That's hilarious.
to see these people act ridiculous. I don't know, something about it.
I've seen about 2 minutes of it, and then she asked me like, "Do you want to watch an episode?" I'm like, "No, I'm good. I'm not
Don't do
interested."
it, because once you do, you won't be able to stop. I don't think.
Reality television is just not much my thing. It's more of a Paul Patrick thing.
Me
Third
neither.
reference for him, but
I do just getting shout after shout out. So,
yeah, tonight on the we should
but
just call this
that's
the
my
Paul Patrick.
recommendations for this week. If you can get to them, awesome. Hopefully you can.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Awesome.
What do you got?
I think it works.
Something else to write down and watch.
I was gonna say it works out kind of perfect because you gave 3 recommendations on streaming for shows, and I gave 3 for all movies.
Yeah.
So kind of a mixture of each, whatever you're looking for. So mine were movies that came out really in the last year, about, or maybe a little over that. But
I feel like I might know one of them.
you
Go
definitely
ahead.
know one that I can't stop talking about that is underrated for the year. Dude, this could honestly, as crazy as it sounds, it could be in my top 3 movies of the year so far.
Ooh.
And that's Companion.
Yep.
Such a good movie that shocked me. Go in completely blind for this movie. Please don't watch anything about it, because it's the gift that keeps on giving when it comes to that. The uniqueness of this movie, twists and turns were so good, like so natural throughout the movie, and just never like knowing the next step. Like it just kept you on your toes or edge of your seat. Like this movie is one of the best like knockout like surprises I think I've watched in a really long time. It's got decent reviews, has a 6.9 and a 70 on IMDb, which is about average.
I think
I think it's really low for this movie.
Yeah,
I would imagine if you had me guess the score, I would have said like a 7.6, 7.7, and I think this movie is, like I said, one of the best movies of the year. Really good younger cast in it, led by Sophie Thatcher. She did an incredible job in the movie as her character, and Jack Quaid as well, given a different flavor on him. It's kind of a different role for him, and did a really good job. Kind of, I think maybe not to the same extent, but what we talk about with like Jason Bateman with doing kind of the everyday man comedy sort of guy, the straight man, but also kind of ridiculous, and then switching it up to something that's like serious, and more of a, I don't know, just kind of an a-hole. I think Jack Quaid does a great job on that switch up in this, but yeah, directed and written by Drew Hancock, who I didn't really know much about at all. He's done some TV shows and smaller movies and stuff, but yeah, highly recommend. Check it out. It's on Max.
Absolutely.
Great watch for, if you're just watching for yourself, or, I think a great couples movie, really.
I do too. Yeah.
As odd as that sounds, but yeah, really, really good. Highly recommend. Number 2 recommendation, also on Max, is Sing Sing, movie that came out last year.
I did not know that was on Max already. Wow.
Yeah, it came out about a year ago. Let me make sure it is still on Max, because I think it might be floating. No, it's on Max. It's got a 7.6 and an 83 on IMDb. One of the higher rated movies of last year. Kind of got snubbed, I thought, out of some Oscar nominations and just recognition last year. Lead actor Coleman Domingo. Yeah, lead actor Coleman Domingo I'll just read the synopsis real quick. Divine G, imprisoned at Sing Sing for a crime he didn't commit, finds purpose by acting in a theater group alongside other incarcerated men in the story of resilience, humanity, and the transformative power of art. Just kind of a theater play, like I said, group within the prison. But what I didn't know actually until the end of the movie, because it says it, but I think is really important for the movie to be said, is that almost every single actor used in the movie are not actual actors; they're actual prisoners at Sing Sing prison. Um,
That is awesome.
yeah, almost the entirety of the cast.
Obviously, not Common Bingo, but
Yeah, Coleman
right.
Domingo, again, not him, but a majority, almost every single person in this cast are actual inmates at Sing Sing and that are in an actual theater group at Sing Sing. Just
What's the runtime on that movie?
The runtime is at 1 hour and 47 minutes.
I
So
will probably be watching that when we conclude this podcast.
yeah, it is. I think it was
I've been
another.
wanting to watch. I didn't know it was on streaming.
Yeah, it's so good. I think it was only available for rent or purchase for a while, but now it's on
Yeah.
streaming. Because it was kind of even weird with the way they came out with that movie, because it started out in festivals back in like
Right.
2023, and then it didn't actually come out till 2024. But going for a record amount of shout outs here tonight, Paul Patrick, one of his favorite, if not his favorite movies of last year.
I believe that was his favorite.
I think
Last
he
I
had
spoke.
Wild Robot as number one, but then
Oh
Sing
yeah,
Sing
I
number
forgot
two.
about that.
And I don't blame him at all, dude. With Wild Robot's a 10 out
Wild
of
Road
10.
was a great movie.
That'll be talked about at other times. But man, I
My
could go on
daughter
and on about that
loved
movie.
it. She got even emotional. Well, I got super emotional. I'm
It may be my
not gonna
favorite
try to
animated
lie.
movie ever. I may honestly say that. It may be my number one animated movie
Wow,
of
over
all time.
Minions?
Over Minions 2 as well. And 3 and
No.
4.
Well, that'd be 40 of those movies before we're
Yeah.
done.
I love how we get onto Minions in a Sing Sing review, but that's just the type of
Yeah.
people that we are.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Sing Sing is one of the best movies I've seen all decade. Very like the look and cinematography of the movie is incredible, but the writing and the performances, of course, like the performances as far as we've talked about different categories we'd like to see at the Oscars. One I've always said is best ensemble,
Mm-hmm.
if that was an Oscar category, I think Sing Sing definitely would have had to have been nominated. And I wish it
Like you,
was.
yeah, no choice.
I wish it was because I think that aspect of the movie could have honestly helped with the marketing, in my opinion, a little bit. With the again, like that's something that you don't know in the movie or it's not marketed, and it shows it like at the end credits. So maybe I'm spoiling a little bit, but I just think it's a really important thing to say that goes on to the
Yeah,
significance
it is
of the
kind of weird they
movie.
wouldn't
Very
kind of
unique.
promote that.
Yeah,
Huh.
but incredible movie. If you like just kind of more serious dramas. It has a lot of moments of comedy. It's a little bit of everything, but man, that movie will like hit you with a gut punch, and probably one of the more unique, if not the most unique, like prison film I think I've ever seen. It kind of does not have any of those tropes that you expect out of the movie. It may have some of those themes talked about and dealt with, but it's a lot more
Mhm.
mature and not your run of the mill prison film at all. So yeah, highly
Okay.
recommend that movie. Saw it at Belcourt last year, which is my favorite way to see
Nice.
a movie, of course.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so that was my second
Everything everywhere
recommendation.
all at once.
Yeah, everything
For
real
us all that.
Manchester by the Sea, Nocturnal Animals,
Uh,
Holdovers. Anyways,
one of those
um,
movies is disturbing.
yeah, the opening scene very disturbing in Nocturnal Animals.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah, that
definitely
too.
sticks with you. But no, my last random recommendation for our audience is Thelma, which is on Hulu. Very different than the last two movies I just talked about. It came
Yeah.
out last year. Uh, Thelma, I just kind of want to read the synopsis. When we talked last podcast about the movie Friendship, uh,
Hmm.
being one of the best comedies, very refreshing of the decade and in recent memory. Thelma was a movie that popped up in my head. I'm not saying it's as funny or whatever as Friendship, but I would have it up there as one of my favorite comedies in recent memory. It says when 93-year-old Thelma Post gets duped by a phone scammer pretending to be her grandson, she sets
Oh
out on
no.
a treacherous quest across the city to reclaim what was taken from her. So it stars June Squibb. She's actually, I believe, let me see, born in 1929 November. So
Goodness.
when the movie came out, she was, I believe, 84 or 85 years old. 85. Yeah, 84, 85. So but it's her first ever like where she's the number one on the call sheet, main star of a movie in her career.
Wow.
So that was really awesome to have that for her. And she's been in, if you look her up or look at images of her, she's been in a lot of stuff. It's actually written and directed by Josh Margolin, I believe I'm pronouncing it correctly. But he wrote the script. It's actually based on a true story that happened to him. He plays, or he is the grandson, I guess, in the real story.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, wow.
but yeah, it doesn't go to the crazy extents that this movie does. It definitely like extends more
Right.
into the fantastic, I guess, on some things. But
Embellished a little bit.
yeah, embellishes is the better way of putting it. But but yeah, it's like a really heartwarming, definitely some laugh out loud moments, like just kind of a very charming film. I saw it with my cousin, and you know, we were really close to our grandparents as well, so I think that was kind of a neat way to
Right.
see that movie in an odd way. But
Yeah.
I highly recommend, if you just, it's short, it's an hour 38 minutes, very very much of a
Oh, yeah.
breeze, and like I said, very funny. Also, want to give a shout out to Richard Roundtree, who is also in the film. He passed away in 2023. I think this was his last credit, but he played Shaft in the original Shaft movies in the 1970s.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Was also in Speed Racer, but he has a ton of credits as well. Legendary actor, and yeah, he also plays he's a big actor in the movie, kind of her number two in the movie, because you know
Okay.
she's recruiting some of, it's like recruiting the Avengers a little bit when she goes to recruit some of her
Oh, my goodness.
elderly friends to try to help her go get these phone scammers and take them down. So it's kind of, even at parts of it, it like I think has some John Wick references,
Oh, my
even in the
goodness
trailer,
gracious.
because you know she's like going across the city in her little moped, and so is he, and they're going like 2 miles an hour, but they're filming the scenes like it's some like big heist film, and they're on their way to go take
Mhm.
down a corporation or something. Like it just, the humor in it is so good.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I
Uh,
remember seeing trailers for that. Yeah.
yeah,
Now I know what you're talking about.
yeah, it has a 7.0 for an audience score and a 77 critic score. I have it at an 8 on
Impressive.
my score. Um, like I said, one of the better comedies I've seen of this decade. Didn't really get the praise that it deserves. So, random recommendation. That's my third one. That, again, if you're just looking for an easy watch and something to make you laugh, and I
Mhm.
think it's one of those things too that it deals with like themes of family. The guy that plays the dad in it, Clark Gregg, he's Agent Coulson in the Avengers movies. His role is really funny as well. It reminds me of some family members I know. Like it has one of those, I guess, charming aspects of like it'll remind you of family members that you have, or you know that dynamic
Mhm.
of being a grandson with a grandmother, and the humor there, like him showing her like how to use her phone, like she got a new smartphone and stuff, like stuff that's very relatable, and like I said,
Mhm.
it's easy to go along with, but very fun film. Okay, so we got 6 recommendations there for our audience.
Yeah.
3 shows and 3 movies, so I think a little bit of
Yeah.
everything too. So hopefully there's something
Yeah.
we
Well,
mentioned.
covers everything there.
Yeah,
Serious and funny and crime drama,
yeah, animation and
animation. Yeah.
well, everything.
All
Uh,
ages.
Everything everywhere all at once. Yeah, all ages as well. So yeah, it worked out even better than I thought it would. So I mean, we didn't know each other's recommendations up front,
No,
so it worked out
I'm
really
glad.
nice. Yeah. Okay. So, one more fun segment before we get on to our recent news. Doing a blind ranking segment. That's just something I've really
Yeah.
wanted to do.
Yeah.
Uh,
I have to.
do something fun, but I just picked out a genre for the week. Seth and I picked out the comedies. So just 7 comedy films to rank for each other, or you know, to name off and other person ranks. So yeah, do you want to go first? You want me to go first, or how do you want to do it?
It doesn't matter, and it making sure I know what we're doing right. We name off one, and you have to put it in a spot, but you can't
Yeah.
swap them around, correct?
No, cannot swap them
Yeah.
around.
So
Yeah,
once, okay.
you have to rank
How
them
many
one
was it
through
we did?
7.
7.
So
Okay, I
yeah,
was
rank 1 through
enough.
7, just random number, I know, but maybe should have done 5.
Sure,
We can
yeah.
tweak with it, whatever. But yeah,
It doesn't
7's
matter
the
to
rank
me.
up front. Okay, I'll name mine first, and you can rank if you want to do that.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Okay. All right. First film on the list, ranking
Oh
1 through
man.
7. The Other Guys.
Ooh, this one's probably gonna get some hate. I'm gonna say 6.
6.
Just not one of my favorites.
Okay.
It is quotable, but just not one of my
Very
favorites.
quotable. Very quotable. Will Ferrell was on a run at that area.
Yeah, true.
All right. Another iconic comedy film of the late 2000s. Hangover.
Ooh, 3.
3. Okay.
Yep.
All right. 3 and 6 right now. All right.
Mm.
Next comedy, Grown Ups.
Oh, man, up 4. 4. I'm trying to save the 2. It's getting hard.
Okay, Hangover at 3, Grown Ups at 4, The Other Guys at 6. All right, so we have 1, 2, 5, and 7
Should put
open.
other guys at 7. I know it.
That's how when you started
Go
out
ahead.
Other Guys at 6, I was like, man, he doesn't know my list. Okay, all right,
Goodness.
number 4 film to be named off, Tropic Thunder.
Oh, 2. 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't put that one lower than that. I can't.
Such a great comedy.
You talk about quotable.
Iconic for sure. Man. Okay.
What a cast, too.
So we've got number 1 left, number 5 left, and number 7 left. All right.
It's gonna be rough.
This is getting so
I need to
random
get my
towards
one
the end.
quick.
Because the rest of the first 4 movies, I'm just now realizing, all kind of in the same era, kind of like
You're right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Probably
comedies.
within like an 8-year span, right?
Yeah, or even like a 5,
Yeah,
6
you're probably
year
right.
span. I think Tropic Thunder may be the earliest, Other Guys the latest. But these last 3, I'm realizing, it's been a minute since I looked at the ones I did.
Oh,
It
no.
kind of goes off the rails. So let's see.
Oh,
here.
great.
1, 5, and 7 left. Jack and Jill.
7. If I could put this one not on the list, 7.
I thought about
hated that
just
movie.
coming up with something random on the spot, but I'm sticking with my list here.
That's
okay.
fine. I'm glad I got that. If I would have got that last and saved that one out of it.
You're number 1. Okay.
So I got 1 and 5.
1 and 5. All right, here we go. Dumb and Dumber.
1.
1.
I'm gonna go ahead and that's an easy slit up there.
That's a good one. That's a good one to have. And then
I'm loving my list here.
what'll come in at your number 5 spot?
Oh no.
Is the 2016 Ghostbusters, female-led Ghostbusters film.
I wish I could swap Jack and Jill.
Other guys getting crapped on at number 6.
Yeah. Hey, if I would have known he was doing the 2016 Ghostbusters, I would have gave other guys number 1 point. Oh my goodness. Hey, I will.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say when you said it, like this is gonna be controversial, but other guys at number 6. As soon as you started that off, I was like, he's gonna regret that so fast.
Yeah. No
I know
kidding.
it may not be your favorite, but still not number 6.
Goodness gracious, I do like it more than Jack and Jill. I'll tell you that much. For sure.
But still, not a bad list. So I mean, Dumb and Dumber
No,
number 1.
My top 2, I'm happy with for sure.
Yeah, Tropic Thunder 2. I mean, that's a good top 2. The way it worked out. I think the Other Guys is the only thing that's crazy out of place, really. I think
that gets some hate from me online for sure.
I would have had like maybe Grown Ups 5. Probably myself.
I just really love
Ghostbusters 6, and then Jack and Jill 7. That's the only thing I would change.
We have 2 of the same.
Oh, really? Movies we named up? Okay.
2 of the same. So I'm glad it was only 2.
Good. Okay.
All right. I gotta think of how to lay this one out. I try to pick. I feel like there might be one. There's one movie on here I don't know if you've seen. I'm pretty sure you have, but we'll see.
Okay. You can name something else off the top of your head if I haven't.
If you haven't seen it, I will.
It, or I don't know.
If you haven't seen it, I have. All right. First off, we're gonna. I'll tell you what we'll do. Friendship,
Okay.
first one.
I'll
Let me
put
get that one out there.
Friendship at at 3.
Ooh,
I thought about
yeah, that's pretty
4,
good.
but I'm well. I mean, now I'll stick with 3. I've already said 3. I'll go 3.
Okay. So friendship's gone. Next is gonna be Step Brothers.
Oh, this is kind of like Hangover for me. I always compare the two where they kind of
Sure.
they were kind of came out about the same time, both huge to me, and they're very very quotable, but also like overplayed.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. This one's overplayed more than anything, I think.
yeah, I think Step Brothers might be the most overplayed, but man, it is so funny and so
It is
quotable.
funny. I'm not
Just based off how I'm feeling right now, I'm gonna say Step Brothers 4.
okay. That's good.
Just recency bias, probably, but
Brother. Sure. Let's see. Gosh dang it. Type. All right. So we got 3 and 4 taken up. Next is gonna be This Is the End.
oh, I actually really like that movie a
I do
lot.
too. I do too.
Oh, that was a fun theater experience going with friends. That was like late high school for me, so it came out about the perfect time. Ooh, I'm gonna keep going in order. I think here I'm gonna throw it at number 5.
Okay.
Oh man, Hermione Granger
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that part.
and Channing
It's,
Tatum.
it's just banger after banger in
Oh,
that movie.
dude, yeah, Michael Cera.
Oh,
Oh my
in the
gosh,
beginning,
yeah, it's
Rihanna.
so funny. Gosh, man,
Oh
it's
man.
so dark, but man,
Um,
that movie's so funny.
I feel like they should make another like reboot that movie
But the
nowadays
cast
with like a
all
new cast.
hates each other is a thing, and that's something so well documented from that movie. Is like most of them
Right.
do not like each other.
All right. Let's see. I'm trying to think how to lay this out. Hmm. I'll
I've got
go ahead
3.
and do the one I don't know if you've seen.
Okay.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh, of course I've seen Planes, Trains, and
Okay. I thought you
Automobiles.
had. So I'm gonna go ahead and put
Um,
that one out.
that's tough, man.
It is, especially after what you got taken up right now.
Yeah, I've got all my middle taken up, so it's kind
Yeah,
of either
three
top
through
2
three
or
through
bottom
five.
2. Oh man. Oh, I kind of hate it, but I'm gonna put it at number 6. I love.
It's fair.
Oh, man, that's tough. It's either 6 or 2. That's weird to say, but yeah, that's a classic movie. One of the only Thanksgiving movies I can ever name off the top of my head.
Correct. Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely. Same thing here. So you
but
got
I
three
love
through
John Candy and Steve
six.
Martin. Man, that's tough. Yeah, I'll go 3
All
through
right, I'm
6,
gonna
1, 2, and 7.
do Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumb. Okay, our same one there.
Yep. We got one more too. So
I'm gonna say
see.
Dumb and Dumber number 2.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and leave it at 1 and
Dumb
7.
and Dumber.
Top
All
'em
right.
up.
For to decide your top and your bottom here, you got ooh. Do I tell you? I'm trying to think how to say this, Bill. How do I want to play this? Grown ups.
A 7.
Okay. Grown ups at 7, which leaves your number 1, and honestly, not a bad one. Horrible Bosses.
Okay.
The first one.
Yeah, the first one. Okay, I'll take that.
So not you got your one. You got Horrible Bosses at 1, Dumb and Dumber 2, Friendship 3, Step Brothers. This Is the End, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and then Grown Ups wrapping up at the bottom.
Yeah.
Also a very good list, honestly.
Yeah, I'm not mad at my list at all. I think if I could have a number 1, like pick out one on the list, it probably would be. I guess I would say Dumb and Dumber.
It's just hard to beat that one, man.
Yeah, I should have thrown that one with being the last 3, but out of this list, and I probably would have moved Planes, Trains, and Automobiles more towards like the 4 spot.
Yeah,
And Horrible Bosses maybe at like 5 or something. I don't know. Or 3. I can't even keep up all the numbers in my head now. But yeah, no, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at my list at all.
No, I think we both had some good lists there.
Worked out well. Cool.
We'll do a different category next time.
Yeah.
I think that one's probably the easiest category we're gonna get too.
Yeah.
For being honest.
Yeah. That's a wide ranging, and I think when you pick out the top ones like that, it's very likely we've both seen them, so it makes it easier.
Hmm.
And I would like to another thing talking about in the future, but do like a movie draft like people do in the future as well, where you and I can go back
Yeah,
and
those are
forth
fun.
on
Yeah,
those.
that
Um,
would be very fun.
but I like that. Yeah, blind rankings. So yeah, tell us how you think we did on our list. I think we
Yeah,
both did
give
pretty
us
well,
your
honestly, for our first time.
what's your top comedy? I'll always like to know what people's top like comedy movie is.
What is
It's so
yours?
wide ranging. All time is Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber's your number one? Oh,
Yeah,
awesome.
all time. It's probably 1A and maybe 1B with Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, but I think I don't know. Now that I think about it, it's how funny Steve Martin and John Candy are together is
Yeah,
kind of
it's
hard to beat. It's probably 1A, 1B with those two. I don't know if I could pick.
my favorite. I think just because of a few scenes that make me just fall into the floor. Old Steve Martin movie is The Jerk. It's my favorite
Oh
of his
yes, The
old ones.
Jerk, very funny. Father of the Bride, another one. His
Yeah. Oh
great.
yeah. Great one.
Not quite on the same level as comedy, but yeah.
When I was
Yeah, The
growing
Jerk
up,
is hilarious.
the he's aiming for the cans is probably one of my favorite comedy lines in history. The first time I
At
ever
the
saw
gas
that, I
station.
think I was like crying laughing. Yeah, picks him out of a phone book, like I'm somebody now, and then the guy picks him out of a phone book, and then that whole scene takes place. But yeah, he's trying to snap at him, and he's hitting the oil cans. He's like, he's aiming
Little
for the
cans.
cans. Get away from the cans. So I was like, that's one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life, or seen in my life. But yeah, love old Steve Martin, and even now, like as he's gotten older, he's still so funny, and he's such
I've
a
been wanting to
talented person.
check out that show he's got on Hulu.
Only
With
Murders in the Building.
with what's his name?
Martin Short
Martin
and
Short.
Selena
Yeah, I think
Gomez.
Selena Gomez randomly, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it's them three. I watched the first season, and I think some of season two. I need to catch back up on it, but it was pretty. It was like a easy, like fun watch, like 20 something minute episodes or 30 minute episodes,
yeah.
and
Anything Steve Martin, I'm probably gonna check it out. And
it's
Martin
well
Short too.
made.
Really.
Yeah, they're such a good duo. Um, yeah, the Martin duo. But but yeah, so that was a good list. My favorite comedy of all time, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, is my
Yeah,
always my default answer. Um, the
yeah.
most
That's
ridiculous
a
movie, but
yeah. That's definitely true.
I I don't know. From the first time I've seen it to now, like it's had such staying power for like over a decade for me. Um, probably the most quotable movie in history. Anchorman's up there for me is one of my favorite comedies and most
Yeah,
quotable. But Monty Python, man, like the coconuts and the knights who say knee and the shrubberies and the troll, and I don't know. There's a million different things on any given day I could name about that movie that stands out to me, and so many quotes and everything. I mean, I think will always probably stay my number one comedy. I hope something else were to beat it. That'd be awesome if we were gotten to a golden age of comedy again. But yeah, that's my favorite. But yeah, I would love to, like you said, know what our audience's favorite comedies are. You know, tweet at us or
hmm
however you're reaching us through the podcast. Please feel free to even just DM us and reach out and name your favorite comedy.
yes,
Like you
please.
said, I think it does. Out of all the movie genres, or just I know your favorite movie, it says something about you for sure. But I think
Yep.
best comedy definitely says a lot about your personality or your humor. Um, so
Yeah. I definitely agree.
it's a good reflection of your personality. Okay, well, moving on to our kind of our last segment of the pod. Recent news roundup. We can kind of go through some quick fire stuff, but just naming off some things. Um, First thing I have up is Robert Eggers writing and directing a Christmas Carol adaptation for Warner Brothers, with William Dafoe rumored to be Eggers' top choice for the role of Scrooge. Man, one of the most exciting pieces of news for me, at
Yeah,
least for the year,
no
I would
kidding.
say.
No,
I
I
don't.
definitely agree with that.
One of those things I don't think you could ever predict like would happen, but when you hear the news, you're like, man, is this perfect? Like, is this the
Yes.
algorithm like
What a
just feeding us the perfect combination here?
they just know.
I mean,
Robert is a very talented man,
he's on a
as is well.
roll. Definitely, as we talked about earlier, with Ryan Coogler, he's turned out to be one of those directors in the last decade that is on the watch list. I guess like you're gonna watch whatever they have come out next. It's gonna be
Hmm.
exciting. It's gonna be an event. Um, so yeah, if this does turn out to happen, and William Dafoe does play Scrooge, which I know Robert Eggers has said that he wants William Dafoe in every single one of his movies.
Hmm.
And William Dafoe is down for that. So if all this takes place, man, what a movie this will turn out to
Yes.
be, and probably one of the more unique
Yeah.
retellings of A
That
Christmas Carol I think ever.
disturbing is another word that comes to mind.
Yeah, yeah. I think it'll resonate or hit a lot more. It's almost like it'll be the first time this story's been told with the way Robert Eggers will probably tell it. But that's really exciting news. Darren Aronofsky is in talks to direct Breakthrough, is the title of the film, which will be starring Dwayne Johnson for A24. So Dwayne The Rock Johnson going
Another
back to back with A24.
another A24, good for his career. Sure.
Says that the film follows a young man who comes under the influence of a motivational guru played by Dwayne The Rock Johnson, who uses morally questionable methods of manipulation. Source coming from Deadline on this.
So
Yeah.
he's playing Dan Bilzerian.
Yeah, or people even said just kind of himself with the motivational guru. Part of
Yeah,
being
there
like,
you go. Right.
just a dark side of that. Not the same, not the same exact idea, but similar concept to the movie coming out here soon. Him with one of the
Goodness.
Wayans brothers
Mhm.
being like the NFL quarterback mentor to an up and comer quarterback, doing like a horror take on that. Kind of a similar dynamic, it sounds like there. But like you said, Dwayne The Rock Johnson going back to back A24, I think doing good for his career and getting into some
Absolutely.
serious acting and showing that he can act. I guess to say as terrible as that sounds, like
Yeah, but
he can be a serious actor, has like a range.
he doesn't have to be Jason Statham and just take the same role.
Yeah, he can do more.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
No, it's nice
I'll
to have
see
your
every
own
I see
lane.
every Jason Statham movie that comes out, and that's just how it is.
I mean,
Beekeeper, working man. So you know.
I kind of hate to say it. This is gonna also sound like a hater mentality, but I don't think unless like his movies don't get as like much of a reception or don't start performing as well, does he you know move into the stage of his career. I feel like he was, I guess, semi forced into like, okay, let me try out something new because this is getting old to people, I guess.
Yeah,
Um, I
I,
don't
I
know.
see what you're
Maybe that
saying,
sounds
and
bad, but
I think you're right. Which I think, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
no, I'm
whether he was
excited
forced.
about it. I've
This new what's the name of the movie, the MMA movie? Do you know the name of it?
Oh,
That comes out this year. I think
I'm
it's got
looking
to
it
be
up
this
right
year.
now. Yeah, it's this year. It's coming out before too long. Um, it's one of the Safdie brothers directed. Why is his page set up so differently on IMDb? Oh, there it is. Um, coming soon. The Smashing Machine. I thought it was something
Yeah,
machine. Yeah,
I did too.
the trailers for that is, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
like takes your breath away
Hmm.
on just that being The Rock and everything. I'm very excited for that movie and to see, like, I
Yeah.
really feel like this could be like a new era or chapter of his career, which, like I said, I'm very excited about, and it's something I think a lot of us have been asking for a while, is him to try out different stuff and you know become a role instead of just playing the same old role every movie over and over again. Um, so
Yep.
yeah, and especially, I mean, there's some other good actors, wrestlers turned actors, and Dave Batista and like John Cena.
Yeah. John
Um,
Cena.
so kind of joining them to be like more of a respected actor, I guess to say. Again, it all kind
Sure.
of comes off hateful, but I'm saying it because I'm
Right.
excited about something like this
It's just the
happening, and
truth too. I mean,
yeah, just kind of the
nothing
narrative, I
wrong with
guess,
the
of his
movies
career.
he's been in.
Yeah, made a lot of money, made a lot of
Yeah,
money.
a lot. He was like a highest grossing actor for like several years in a row. So
Yeah, he was the
you
guy
can't
to
really hate
have.
that.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's sounds interesting. Darren Aronofsky as well in A24. Dwayne Johnson. It's an interesting combination and concept for a film.
Yeah,
Um,
I definitely agree.
So one of the more exciting pieces of news also recently, there's been a lot, honestly, in the last couple
Yeah,
weeks.
it's a lot has broke out in a 2 week span, really.
Yeah, since we started the
Maybe
pod,
even
who knows?
less.
Maybe it's correlated.
That's yeah, we've done this.
I'm single-handedly keeping cinema alive. That's a meme from the studio, if anybody's wondering. But I love that show so much. Anyways, Matthew McConaughey will star as a private investigator. Mike Hammer is the name of the character in a new film written by True Detective creator Nick Pizzolatto. I believe that's how
Solano, I
you
think
pronounce
that's
that.
correct. Yeah, I believe
Uh,
that's correct.
Sources variety on that piece of news, but just to hear Matthew McConaughey teaming back up with the True Detective creator is enough to just like give me. I mean, I'll go ahead and give you my money right now, however much you
Yeah,
need.
it's fine. I'll pay for it right now.
I'll
I'll
be in
prepay
line.
for it.
Yeah. So not a whole lot said about that a piece of news aside from that he would be starring as that private investigator. No other synopsis or anything, or if it's 100% happening, of course. But it's he's set to star in that, so that honestly awesome piece of news. Also, Spaceballs 2, talking about comedies. It has been announced, not yet. Has it been announced if it'll be titled "The Quest for More Money," which
Mm-hmm.
is the joke from the first film? But I hope that
Mm-hmm.
it is, or that would be a missed opportunity if it's not. But
Absolutely. Yep.
said to see the return of several original cast members, including Bill Pullman as Lone Star, Rick Moranis as Dark Helmet. That's huge to have him back acting.
Yeah, he's been out forever, right?
Yeah, for decades, focusing on raising his
His
kids
children.
and his family and
Very
everything.
admirable.
Yeah, one of the more unique Hollywood stories for sure. But him coming back as Dark Helmet, and Mel Brooks, who's in his mid 90s, I
98.
believe.
98.
98.
I
Golly,
believe that's what I
son.
saw.
Golly. Mel Brooks at 98 years old to return as President Scroob and uh,
Yogurt.
and yogurt. Yeah.
Yogurt.
Yeah.
That's just, I can't even say that without.
I was like, am I reading this right? Yeah, it's yogurt. Um, yeah. Newcomers to the film or the franchise include Kiki Palmer, which is a really interesting casting. I love Kiki Palmer,
Mhm.
and Lewis Pullman, son of Bill Pullman, who will play Starburst instead of Lone Star, which I love that name.
Just a little
Oh,
stat here. On the 28th of this month, Mel Brooks will be 99 years old.
gosh.
So by the time this movie comes out, he will be 100
Yeah, he will be at least
at
100.
least.
Well, actually, it says scheduled for
Jeez.
2027 release, so he'll probably be 101.
Oh my goodness.
They need to get the scenes filmed as
Gracious.
soon as possible. I don't mean to sound
Yeah,
like very
I'm
dark when I
not
say
just.
that, but
Yeah, no, but it's
I
just
just want to
a
make
fact.
sure we have that documented that Mel Brooks at 99 years old is President Scroop and yogurt. That is so funny.
Just insane.
Just those words coming out of my mouth. Okay, but yeah,
The original is streaming on Max or HBO Max right now if you want to watch it.
gotcha. Yeah, I didn't check out that comedy until a few years ago, and man, I loved it. That's definitely right up my alley. John
It
Candy in
is
the original.
so funny
It
for no
gives me
reason.
that. It gives me those Monty Python vibes where it's just like ridiculous. We have like
Hmm.
slapstick kind of sketches and stuff. Kind of like the old God, how am I forgetting the name? Abbott and Costello, like the Who's on First sort of sketches is what it reminds me of, like
Hmm.
OG comedy sketches. So, yeah, I love the Spaceballs film. It having a second one announced is really intriguing and also unexpected. But yeah, definitely keep an eye out for that. And like I said, they will have to announce that movie as Spaceballs: A Quest for More Money, or I think, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
lost
completely missed
opportunity there
opportunity.
for
Yeah,
sure.
the schedule will come out 2027, so keep an eye out. One piece of news, I just thought this was pretty impressive. Star Wars Andor, television series on Disney Plus, managed to be number one on the Nielsen streaming charts during the week of the show's final episodes. The show is viewed over for over 931 million minutes during that week, which is just a weird. I don't even know how to
Goodness.
comprehend that number, but
Yeah. What? Somebody just.
insane.
Who's keeping that up? Is there somebody just constantly
Nielsen,
watching?
yeah,
Yeah.
Nielsen, the rating system. I don't even know, yeah, how they're tracking and all that stuff. But
That's
yeah,
wild.
just a
Have you
crazy
watched this show?
number. I have not, and I've really
I have
planned
not either.
to. It's always been at the top of my watch list for the past year or two. As far as the television series goes, I just haven't gotten around to it. But excuse me, I heard nothing but great things about it from every single
Mhm.
person. A lot of people saying it's their favorite Star Wars project. Period. So it's pretty insane on the reviews that it's gotten. I know, and the word of mouth, and as you can tell by stats like that, like just continuing to prove that apparently the show is definitely worth the watch. And yeah, so I definitely plan to give that a watch. And when I do, there's not too many episodes of it, so I'd like to do maybe like an episode by episode breakdown or a
Yeah.
review and stuff. Because I know it's also really beloved, so I'd love to share in that fandom with people and yeah, really break it down. So I definitely plan to watch that at some point, but just thought that was really impressive for it to do numbers like that, especially since Disney Plus, hasn't always been in the best state,
Yeah.
I guess to say.
Right.
So one of the better, if not the best, Disney Plus original. Um, Really random, but Violent Night 2 has been announced.
Yeah.
David Harbour, a film that I didn't think would probably get a sequel, even when
Would
I
warrant
saw
a
it.
sequel.
Yeah, but it says coming to theaters December 4th of 2026, so about a year and a half from now. You and I saw this film together, did we not?
It's correct. We just saw a double feature of that in The Menu,
Oh yeah,
which
that's
is a
right.
great
That's
movie, by
right.
the way.
Yeah.
Please go see. I want to add that to my recommendations for the week. The Menu.
There's so many
Please go
movies
watch that.
we talked about after that segment that I'm like, man, I have to add those for the future. Um, write that down. But yeah,
Hmm.
probably a lot of our listeners haven't even seen Violent Night 1, but one of my favorite
It's
origins of Santa Claus for sure.
absolutely yes. I love that movie. Honestly, I might watch that again this week if I can find it. I guess it's probably streaming somewhere.
Yeah, honestly, we talked about it on the last podcast for the summer lineup, but something it reminds me like almost like Nobody getting a sequel. It's kind of in
Hmm.
that realm of like a smaller budget. Um, I don't know. I guess it was kind of coming off stuff like Krampus. I guess I felt like a little bit, or different like darker takes on the Christmas stories, but um, yeah, I did not expect a sequel, and since it got announced, I'm kind of like you, where I kind of want to go back and rewatch it or add that to my Christmas list for the year on movies to watch in the Christmas season. But yeah, it's just interesting to see that getting a sequel. Um, Next piece of news: Tom Reese Harry's starred in. Well, I say starred in. Most people haven't even heard of this guy. Don't remember the roles he's been in, but The Gentleman is what he was in. Suspicion and White Lines. He's been casted as the shape-shifting Batman villain Clayface, which we
Hmm.
talked about on last podcast. For possible people to play, they had the finalists, the rumored finalists that came out, and apparently none of them were correct. Because yeah, this guy got the role. Nobody hardly knows him. I feel like DC's kind of been infamous for doing those sort of things, and it kind of working out for them. But I always like to see like the no name get their shot and um,
Absolutely. Yeah. I
make
hope
an
they do get
influence.
the R rating. I think that'll be great for it.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it's rumored to have, and I could definitely see that character, that rating lending itself to that character and story. But yeah, be interested to see his interpretation of that. A lot of DC news been coming out here recently, so
Yeah.
that was one of the bigger pieces.
Good.
Um, Getting into the last few things, Robert Pattinson cast as Skytail in Dune Messiah. He's been rumored to
Hmm.
have been in the new Dune film, which I think is set for December 18th of 2026. I believe I just have that off the top of my head because I'm so excited, and I have a countdown calendar strictly set for that movie coming out.
Love it.
Um, Check on it every now and then just to give me a little hope and a reason to live. But yeah, Robert Pattinson as Skytail. I've read the Dune Messiah book. Skytail is one of the main characters, kind of main antagonist of the book. So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see his interpretation of the character. Robert Pattinson never gives off a bad performance. I think it's impossible nowadays. maybe the best actor in the
Yeah.
last 10 years. I don't know, especially
Mm-hmm.
up and comers.
Mm-hmm.
As we talk about those lists, like Robert Pattinson is in his age
The
group is
range he
probably
has
the
is
most
absurd.
prestigious. Yeah, I think he's kind of like he's on his way to being in that Daniel Day-Lewis category for me in his career.
Ooh, I like that.
Me personally, he's like one of the few people I feel like again that up and
His
comers
range is, I
that
can't
could,
say it enough.
yeah,
Insane range.
yeah, and he's
The Devil All
more.
the Time,
He
then the
comes out with more
Batman,
stuff too. Like Daniel Day Lewis is
Good Times,
great, and he, probably I say great, probably the greatest actor to ever live. But
and
he,
our yeah.
yeah, maybe back in Shakespeare's time they had somebody better, but
No, they didn't. They couldn't carry his water.
yeah, he, but he only came out with movies every few years. I think with Robert Pattinson, he just keeps coming out in different roles and different movies and TV show, or not really TV shows, but mostly movies. And he,
Wish he would do a TV show.
yeah,
Actually,
would be. I'd love to see him in like a True Detective, as we just talked about that, like in a
imagine
season of
imagine
that.
him on a White Lotus season.
Yeah, oh, that's interesting.
I
Yeah,
think that would be money.
yeah.
He is always money, but
Yeah, and money in anything, but yeah, especially for I love him as an actor and having him in a Dune film, and also being like I said, like that main antagonist in the Dune film, and me just having read that book, it's just kind of like all coming together for me to just be
right.
just over the top excited. So yeah, can't wait to see him in that, and with Denis teaming up with him, that'll be awesome. And
Denny the goat.
yeah, Denis the Goat, and apparently Robert Pattinson will go from filming his role as Skytail in the new Dune film to following up for the Batman 2. So that also
Please, fingers
long
crossed.
overdue. Cannot wait for that movie. Um,
Absolutely cannot wait.
all right, so two more pieces of news. Last two: John Bernthal will be returning as Punisher, the Punisher,
Mhm.
for
The
Spider-Man:
Punisher.
Brand New Day. Um, Interesting way to bring that character back, I'd say.
Yes. Did you watch Daredevil,
So I
or
have not
is that what it's
watched
called?
Daredevil Born
Reborn.
Again,
Born Again.
um,
Yeah.
and I
So
actually
Reborn.
haven't watched the Punisher series, the original Netflix series. To be honest with you, I've always wanted
Oh
to, but
wow.
haven't. So
First season is really good. I don't really remember about the second season. He is in Daredevil Born Again. It is going to be interesting to see what this Spider-Man movie how this. Do you know when that's scheduled to release next year?
I think it is next
Summer?
year. Yeah, I'm
Next
believing
summer?
it's next summer because we talked about that. It goes from Doomsday
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
next like May to like Spider-Man next July or August. I think it's about a year or
Hmm.
so from now. Yeah.
Okay. It's gonna be
I'll
interesting
check
to
it
see
out.
how they timeline, because where he's at the end of the Daredevil season is going to be interesting if nothing changes between.
It says July 31st of next year.
Okay, it's just over a year.
Yeah. But yeah, how those characters will mesh. I mean, I know Spider Man's done stuff like Daredevil is a famous crossover with Spider Man, or even Deadpool's
Hmm.
crossover with Spider Man before. It's not like he's never had something adult, like a more R rated content to crossover with. But yeah, them teaming up. I know that John Bernthal and Tom Holland are actually close, like offset. So maybe that chemistry will kind of seep over. Like I'm actually kind of excited. I know a lot of memes have been made about it and stuff, but I think it'll actually be kind of a cool addition to a Spider-Man movie to have the Punisher and maybe a
Yeah.
different dynamic there and everything. So yeah. And then the last piece of news and casting news as well, which I'm excited about, is Russell Crowe cast alongside Henry Cavill in the Highlander reboot,
Yeah.
remake. The original film, I'm not the biggest fan of. I like the concept of the Highlander character in like the movie, but I didn't really care for the movie itself. I thought it was
Yeah.
whatever. Sean Connery's character was probably my favorite part of the movie, and I think that's who Russell Crowe will be playing in this reboot. It seems like probably the mentor to Henry Cavill.
Uh,
But I do think it's a movie that lends itself pretty well to like being updated or adapted. One of the few,
Yeah,
there's so many remakes nowadays. I'm just like, you're just doing
right.
it for the sake of more money. But this is one I
Hmm.
think that could use like more special effects updates and a better, like I said, effects and having Henry Cavill. I mean, is something I have to be excited about as well.
Every
So
time, yeah.
yeah, but yeah, so that's pretty much all the pod for this edition. About the same runtime as the last one.
Yeah.
Um, even though we talked about I think more things or had more segments, but yeah. One last thing we wanted to do before the end of the pod today, just something small, was a did you know section. Leave you with a fun fact
Yeah.
about any
Well,
movie or whatever.
yeah.
Um,
Go ahead if you want to, and I'll do mine
okay.
after. Don't matter.
Um, I was going to say a random fact I read recently about the film Inception is
Okay.
uh, is a IMDb fact for Inception. In an effort to combat confusion, television broadcasts of the movie Inception in Japan include
Okay.
text in the upper left corner of the screen to remind viewers in which level of the dream a specific scene takes place.
Interesting. That's a pretty cool idea.
Yeah, like a one, two, and three
Weird.
for different layers or
Very
which dream.
unconventional,
Yeah, I
but I like
guess.
it.
Yeah, like I said, probably enough people, I
Um,
guess, got confused or were complaining that they were like, okay, we need to do something here.
hey, we don't know what's going on,
Yeah. But, yeah.
which is very understandable in that movie.
Oh,
My
yeah.
mine is not a specific movie. It is uh, over a lunch in 1994. Animation director John Lasseter met with three other colleagues at a restaurant by their studio. Pixar's feature film debut, Toy Story, was due to be released later that year, and they had quickly come up with ideas for their next project. Over that lunch, they discussed early concepts for A Bug's Life, Monsters Inc., Finding Nemo, and Wall-E
Yeah, I saw that piece of news
in
recently as well, or
1994.
discovered that. Yeah. That pretty
That
much all
is
their films were
wild.
come up with at that one, yeah, meeting.
One simple lunch meeting.
It's insane.
It's truly. I mean, obviously, our fully scripted movie was laid out, but still, that's insane and impressive bit of
Possibly the
news.
greatest brainstorming session in the
Yeah, it
history.
has. I mean, over a lunch, what a 45-minute
Yeah. Came
movies
up
that
with
made who knows how much altogether.
decades worth of the
Yeah,
greatest
and Wall-E.
animation.
I mean, Wall-E came out way later than those other three
That was
mentioned,
like
right?
2009, I think. I have to
Yeah,
look that up, but yeah, it was.
and like Monsters Inc. was like 2000.
Well, and
Bugs
you
Life
just think
was
about
around
like
that same time.
those franchises went on to have, or 2008 for Wally. Incredibles having sequel or Monsters Inc. having a sequel, like just like
Mm.
staples, I guess, of that studio. And like you said, all coming up with that stuff over the course of a meeting. And I'd love to do one of our buddies, AJ. Talked about the other day doing more like deep dives on a single film, doing stuff like that, like more
Yeah,
breakdown analysis. And I would,
finding like yeah.
yeah, just like pick out a movie and go way deep into it. But Toy Story would be a great one because it's the story of kind of Pixar and it involves Steve Jobs as well. There's a lot of different angles with that movie and what it meant
Hmm.
to animation and still means to animation. But yeah, that's a great, interesting fact. I love that. And I love that I just recently found that out myself. So that's awesome about them doing
Yeah,
that
that
brainstorming session.
one
Insane.
is insane. Yeah,
Yeah.
truly remarkable.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for
Yeah,
listening. I was again shocked at how many people.
yeah.
I don't think I
I
even
got some feedback
told you, Seth.
as well.
I don't know about exact numbers. I didn't really come with all my analytics like a business meeting or anything, but
Okay.
um, I think that within about a 7 day span, we had about 40 downloads on the
Okay.
last episode.
Heck
Um,
yeah.
So, I mean, for me
It's awesome.
personally, yeah, that's way more
That's
than I expected. I
for
expected maybe
sure.
10, just to be honest with you. But
Yeah.
it was really awesome
40, baby. Right.
yeah, to get a good response, and that was within 7 days. I didn't even honestly keep up with it that much, but every time I did, I was like, "Is this number right? Are people searching for the wrong podcast or something?"
They're trying to find somebody else.
Yeah, must be,
Yeah.
I don't know, somebody else out there. But yeah, so appreciate you guys for listening, and so many people that said that they listened to the entire thing, over the
Yeah.
course of like a week on their way
Dedicating.
back or back and
Yeah.
forth from work and stuff on their commute. So, yeah, really
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, to see that response and get that reception, and just glad to be doing another episode. I still think we're not 100% sure. I don't think on how often we're coming out with them, but we were aiming for weekly. It was just again the technical difficulties we were
Technical
having.
difficulties. Yeah.
But
Hopefully we'll be able to get you one next week, and if possible, we'll have more movies. We have a lot of content we can go through this summer with all these movies coming out.
yeah, it'll be hard almost not to do a weekly episode, or we'll be.
We also have this week The Bear coming back, I believe.
Yes, this upcoming Wednesday, dude. Oh my gosh, yeah, one of my favorite shows on television.
From what I looked at, another
All coming out at
the
once.
millionth shout out. Yeah, Paul Patrick told me that it's all releasing same time. So
Hey, I was the one to inform him about that, so it all comes
all right,
right around.
no shout out, Paul Patrick.
Give the shout out to me.
Redacted.
Yeah, well, he already got 5 of them. We don't have to give him another.
Yeah,
one.
it's plenty.
But yeah, one last time, thank you guys for listening.
Thank you so much.
And we'll see you on the next podcast, and we'll also see you at the movies.